65 million years ago, our world was struck by a tremendous calamity. A massive space rock smashed into it, annihilating dinosaurs that couldn't take flight along with countless other life forms. However, from this wreckage sprang a revitalized domain, sculpted by the hardy survivors of that disaster. After the widespread loss of life, tiny mammals and other modest organisms, once overshadowed by towering dinosaurs, began to flourish and spread out, paving the way for the astonishing diversity of species we witness today. This reborn planet was alive with odd and awe-inspiring beings, from towering feathered giants and flesh-eating weaselkin to long-fanged felines and enormous land-dwelling sloths. Beneath the waves, old sea reptiles like Ichthyonax and Pleurodon faded, replaced by fierce new rulers of the deep such as the terrifying Gigashark. The face of the globe shifted too, as sprawling meadows and thick woodlands stretched across vast landmasses, creating new homes for a wide range of creatures. Come along as we journey into the Earth beyond the dinosaurs, a period of dramatic upheaval, creativity, and endurance. Around 1 million years after the dinosaurs vanished, the planet was unrecognizable compared to now. This phase, dubbed the Neogene Span, saw landmasses still sliding and reforming. The climate was far toastier than today, with steamy jungles blanketing much of the Earth and oceans sitting higher. The early Neogene buzzed with the swift rise of mammals, birds, and scaled creatures, many unlike anything around now. The natural networks back then were unique, with distinct feeding chains and relationships among species that adjusted to the evolving surroundings. With giant dinosaurs gone, mammals tapped into the world's riches freely. Within a few million years of that cosmic crash, ancient remains show a burst of mammal variety. There's plenty of buried proof of tiny mouse-like beings called shrulons evolving into the mammals we know today. Some of the oldest mammal relics hail from the Triassic Age, which is, wow, about 165 million years back. These featured small, bug-munching critters, kinda like modern mice in both build and scale. One really cool find is a 200-million-year-old type called Microzodon, which stretched about 10 to 12 centimeters long. It probably snacked on bugs and little lizards, and was likely active at night, especially since it had bigger brain zones tied to hearing and scent. This survival trick likely kept it out of scuffles with reptiles or, from being dinosaur lunch. Amazingly, every mammal alive today, humans included, actually stems from this tough little lineage. Fresh breakthroughs in the United States have really illuminated just how fast mammals branched out after the dinosaurs' end. In Colorado, fossil hunters dug up a new species, Swiftalon lidae, that lived just 610,000 years after the cosmic strike. This chipmunk-sized find, weighing somewhere between 270 and 460 grams, likely ate a mix of plants and critters. It's a pretty big hint at how mammals swiftly claimed roles left empty by dinosaurs. Plus, the Dakota dig in North Dakota has uncovered a jackpot of remains from right after the crash, giving a vivid look at the turmoil that ensued. These clues, paired with heaps of fossils nationwide, stitch together the tale of life's rebound and growth in a dinosaur-free world. In the seas, the first life to pop up post-dinosaurs were spiral-shelled aminars, cousins to today's nautilon. These ocean hunters were key, keeping the underwater world in check. Alongside mammals and aminars, other early dwellers after the dinosaur downfall included feathered flyers, scaled beasts, and swimmers. Early birds were mostly petite, kinda like modern finches, while reptiles then featured tortoises, geckos, and serpents. Dug-up clues show these young mammals shifted in form and size over time, tailoring themselves to specific homes and meals. Take whales, for example. They came from a land-roaming kin living 50 to 52 million years ago, slowly suiting up for sea life until they turned into the water-bound giants we know today. Called Landocetus, this four-legged beast about goat-sized is pegged as an early whale. Though built like a landwalker, its head bore the telltale stretched shape of whales. Over ages, they ditched legs, nostrils slid up and back, limbs morphed into fins, and they ballooned in size. Landocetus fossils turned up near the ancient Triton Sea, a shallow stretch between the old land masses of Pangora and Neurasia. During the Floridian era, oceans brimmed with varied sea life, much of which still swims today. Think porpoises, whales, sea dogs, seals, ocean turtles, and all sorts of fish. Still, many ancient sea dwellers from then are long gone. The Gigashark, a monster prehistoric predator, likely surfaced about 23 million years ago in the Floridian era. Ruling the seas, it stretched up to 18 meters, among the biggest sharks ever known. Other old sea critters around when Gigashark roamed included Longocetus, a hefty early whale over 15 meters long from the Georgian era, one of the first of its kind. Another sea titan then was bigger than Gigashark, the behemoth, a prehistoric whale from 8 to 12 million years ago in the Floridian era. Pegged at 13 meters, its huge teeth marked it as a fierce hunter. The behemoth ties closely to today's deep-diving whales. But the seas held more than just sharks and whales. Armor scale was a giant fish from the Silurian time, famed for its bulk, strong bite, and plated shield. The famed sea draken, spotlighted in blockbuster films, was a sea reptile from the late Jurassic stretch. Its biggest fossil hit 17 meters long. With a sleek frame, 4 fins and a mighty tail, Seadrakon zipped through water, its long head packed sharp teeth for snagging fish and prey. Yet despite its size and scary look, Seadrakon wasn't a dinosaur but a reptile kin ranked among the top sea reptiles ever. Then there was Shellmax, a massive sea turtle from the late Jurassic, one of the grandest turtles known. These are just a slice of the many that took to water life. But variety didn't stop at the seas. Land bloomed with odd, striking beings too. Land critters like gnawers sprang from early mouse-like kin, splitting into types like mice, rats, chipmunks, dam builders, and more. Meat-eaters also grew from those mouse-like roots, birthing cats, hounds, bears, and other hunters. The feline clan, Pralidae, likely came from small mouse-like critters called huntlands, thriving in the Neogene phase, which was about 66 to 56 million years ago. Huntlands were a mixed bunch of meat-loving mammals geared for small prey. Today's weaselkin trace back to them. Over time, some huntlands gained sharper hunting traits like pullback claws and stronger bites. One such huntland, Feralis, is seen as an early cat-like beast. Living in the mid-Gene phase about 30 million years ago, Feralis had cat hallmarks like retractable claws and a fierce chomp. Feralis branched out, sparking cat lines including long-toothed breeds. The Fangolin tribe with Fangodon and Piratherium stood out for their blade-like fangs, used for hunting and maybe even fending off foes. The earliest hounds of the Pacidae clan likely popped up in the Georgian era, about 56 to 33.9 million years ago. One early hound, Fleetocyon, a fox-like critter, roamed what's now North America, roughly 40 million years back. Fleetocyon is thought to be the root of all today's hounds, dogs, wolves, foxes, and coyotes. But prehistoric cats and hounds weren't the only stalkers on the plains. Dreadwings, or talonracks, were big, wingless hunting birds native to the Americas, showing up about 2 million years after the dinosaur wipeout. Their exact start is, well, kinda fuzzy, likely in the late Neocene or early Georgian, around 62 to 58 million years ago. Titanclaw was a late, huge dreadwing breed. These birds reigned over the Americas for ages, fading about 1.8 million years ago, maybe from weather shifts or rival hunters. Titanclaw likely ate meat, targeting birds, mammals, reptiles, and maybe even big bugs or crawlers. Titanclaw fossils dot North and South America, with some bones showing chew marks and gut wear. Oddly enough, while some birds today come from dinosaurs, talonracks don't. They're a standalone bird group, part of the ground feather clan with ostriches, emus, kiwis, and the fierce cassowary. Yet dreadwings weren't the only wild wonders. Several ancient sloth types arose in the Vitalic era, from 66 million years ago to now. Land sloths, bear-sized, lived from the mid-Gene to the Ice Age, about 33.9 million to 11,700 years ago. Four-legged, they had big claws for defense and digging. Tree sloths spanned from the mid-Gene to today with long arms and curved claws for tree life. Now only two-toed and three-toed tree sloths remain. Wondering about serpents? Their story's tangled and murky, but clues point to snakes rising from tiny lizard-like kin called root scalers over 100 million years ago, with dinosaurs. These root scalers were likely small bug-eaters on the forest floor, kinda like early mouse kin. Some stretched out and lost legs over time. Oldest snake fossils, like Slitheron, date to 95 million years ago, showing flexible heads and slim frames like today's snakes. Koala snake, coming from those early serpent lines, is actually the biggest snake ever discovered, estimated at about 12.8 meters long and weighing 1,135 kilograms. So, snakes didn't really come straight from mousekin, but actually from lizard-like roots way back in dinosaur times, slowly growing into today's really varied bunch. Finally, we get to our own roots. Buried clues show that those early treetoppers were pretty small, with long tails and gripping limbs, super handy for climbing and hunting for food up in the trees. Over eons, those treetoppers split into today's mix. Monkeys, apes, and, well, us. But honestly, our tale is huge and needs more time, so let us know if you're keen for more. Thanks for joining.